Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to the Wildflower Wills YouTube channel. I'm Louise. It's Monday. I'm casting on a brand new project, and we're going to sit here and we're going to chat for the next hour. All things knitting. We're going to talk about the two projects you were voting for this week's project. I'll show you progress on last week's project and two or three other projects that I've started over the last few weeks. So I hope you guys have all had a great start to your Monday. I hope you've had a little bit of time to knit somewhere in this day. And um, let's talk about the projects. I picked two different hats and, oh, hi Daisy, two different hats. One was an adult balaclava style hat. Let me show you. Okay. Oh, hold on. Okay, I didn't take a very good picture here. Hold on. Let me see. Nope. Terrible picture. Okay. Because I only got part of it in here. Okay. Anyways, can you see that? No, you can't. Um, try again. So there was an adult balaclava. Hiemal Hoodie. The designer, I believe, is from Norway. So you can't really see it there. I was going to show you how it looks like such a cool construction. It has an I-cord edging. So it's open all around the face. There's a piece that's knit this way, and then it knits down to the back. I-cord edging. Looks really fun. Looks like a super fun construction. Can you see that? It's kind of all funny. But you can go to Ravelry and take a look at it. It is a paid for pattern. Not sure exactly what weight of yarn it's using. It has to be a chunky. In the Ravelry description, it's talking about DK and lace, but the needle size is a 6 millimeter and a 7 millimeter. So I'm not sure if I maybe need to read that again. It may be 2 DKs in a lace to get a chunkier yarn. So anyways, that was the first option, was this hoodie. And I got this. I'm not sure if Anna's here tonight in the chat. I saw her comment and she voted for the hoodie, the balaclava hoodie pattern, because she picked this pattern as her winning prize from last month's Fiber Friend flower knitting challenge. And when she sent me the message with her pattern and I clicked on it, I thought, oh my gosh, that looks so fun. And I know for most of us that watch here tonight, we're all coming into summer. There's a few of you knitters that are heading into winter. So maybe the balaclava might be a good knit for you guys. But it looks like the perfect thing. And I thought, I really need to have this in my knitted wardrobe on the days in the winter when it's super cold, windy, blowy, to pull on and go for a walk. So I thought this would be the perfect time. I'll let you guys decide, am I going to knit the balaclava for me or am I going to do a baby hat? So the 10 stitch baby hat, I came across this pattern a few weeks ago when I was looking at patterns for another New Start Monday project. Okay. There's the 10 stitch baby hat. Honestly, this picture here, I don't know. Maybe it's the colors, but I'm thinking there's maybe other pictures of this hat that I might like better. And there's oranges and yellows in there. I'm not quite sure what it is about this. But anyways, I think the construction would be amazing. There's been a 10 stitch blanket pattern around, I want to say forever, but maybe not quite forever, but for quite a long time. And I think somebody, maybe Sally, mentioned about the 10 stitch blanket. So this sounds pretty interesting. So this pattern is a free pattern on Ravelry. She does suggest, though, that if you knit one of her patterns, you make a donation. She has a link on her Ravelry page to Children's Liver Charity, I think it was. So anyways, the 10 stitch hat pattern sounds really fun. You only have 10 stitches on your needle at any given time, and you're joining strips as you go around. So, oh, Susanna says both. I know both would be really fun. so that was it. So my Monday morning, my wake up thinking about my knitting, and I'm like, I know what I'm going to do for the vote today. I thought, okay, we're going to go back to hats and do some baby hats. Somebody, I think it was Nikki, said maybe the baby hat would be large enough to fit Scarlett's head. I'm sure I could adjust or change needle size or needle size and yarn. The 10 stitch baby hat is knit with sock weight yarn. So I'm sure if I went up maybe a DK and used the same, well, 10 stitches, I could probably get, obviously, I would get a larger size. But I think these ones are tiny. I think, if I remember right, it was 12-inch circumference and 15-inch circumference. So we're talking baby sizes here. But wouldn't they be cute just to have on hand? Someday maybe I will have a second grandbaby that will need a new hat, or just do some and donate them or have them on hand for babies that just when you need a quick baby gift, that might be the good project. So there was tons of votes today. We had over 100. What did we have? 107 votes is what there was when I counted up before I jumped on here. So kind of our normal. We always seem to have right just a little bit over 100. And the voting again this week was a little one-sided. Not as bad as last week, but Alyssa, you never picked the right one. That doesn't matter. There's no real right or wrong, right? It's yeah, it's all, what I wasn't sure what people would vote for, if they would go baby or adult. I mean, there was Liz, I have a feeling it was probably you. There was a comment that, of course, said, "Go baby size. It's quicker. It'll be I don't wanna say a sure finish in the week, but it, could be pretty close, right?" So, hi to everybody who's coming in here and saying hi in the comments. Okay. So, yes, so the winning pattern this week had 79% of the votes. So a lot of people were voting that way. I think maybe um yeah, I don't know. I think the smaller size maybe is what got people voting for the baby hat. Liz is giving me the drum roll. Hi, Linnell and Nancy and Liz. Olson, hello. Oh, hi from Winnipeg. Um, who else is here? Susanna, Alyssa, Susie. Carol and Anne and Liz. Hi, Kim. Who else has said hi in the chat? Hey, Sally. Oh, Jocelyn's here. Alice and Nikki. Kim, I chose the baby hat. The baby. I chose the baby hat. Okay. Oh, because I know baby hats are always cute. Okay, so I'll tell you. So what did I say? 79% of the votes. There was the balaclava. There was the baby hat. Um, the winning hat that I'm going to cast on later tonight is the baby hat. I don't have anything to hold up. Is the baby hat, the 10 stitch baby hat. Um, Hi Sabrina. Oh, so Kim, you voted for the baby hat because you liked the colors. Yeah, I don't know. It was funny. When I looked at the colors of that hat, I was like, I don't know if I really like that color. I'm not sure why. Maybe it's because it had some red in there. I don't know. Anyways, that's the one. 79% of you voted for this. So this pattern is going to be a lot of fun. Let me see if I can pull this up. I'm excited. I was excited for either one because the construction is a little different. And I have to say, I did want to pick a smaller project this week because I really would like to be able to cast something on and get it finished. And I thought the balaclava seemed really exciting just because it was just the way it was knit. It sounded like it would be a fun knit. And the 10 stitch baby hat sounds really fun too. Now, she does say that there is a 10 stitch adult hat as well. So that might be a fun one to go check. My gosh, Scarlett and I could have matching hats. Wouldn't that be so cute? Okay, so the 10 stitch baby pattern hat. I'm just going to read what it says on the Ravelry page to you. So it's published in Frankie's Knitted Stuff. It is a knit with fingering weight. They suggest a 2.75 millimeter needle or a US 2. Baby one piece. It says there's a photo tutorial with it. Oh, it says baby or toddler, and it worked flat. Okay. Um, so it says this pattern is free on Ravelry. It says following on my adult 10 stitch hat, this pattern is for two different sizes of baby hats. They are both knitted in thin yarn, 4-ply yarn using 2.75 millimeter size 2 needles. The small hat has a circumference of about 30 centimeters or 12 inches, and the larger one is 38 centimeters or 15 inches. You will need about 20 grams of yarn for the small and 30 grams for the bigger one. 20 grams, you guys, that is a mini skein. Surely I can get that done. I can totally get that done this weekend. I mean, this week, or maybe next week, or maybe over the weekend. Um, Toddlers are definitely bigger than that. You're right, Alyssa. So I don't know. Maybe there's some talk in the pattern about just using bigger yarn, bigger needles to get a bigger size. Anyways, it says the hats are worked in a spiral from the top down. You never have more than 10 stitches on your needle, and they are knit and garter stitched throughout. Your 10 stitch stripe is joined as you go, so each hat can be worked in one piece. Then she says, all of her Ravelry patterns are free to download, but if you enjoy them, please consider making a donation to Children's Liver Disease Foundation, a charity which funds research and supports families of children with liver disease. And she has a link right on her Ravelry page. So doesn't that look fun? And then there is some more from Frankie Brown. There is a 10 stitch hat, which is maybe the adult hat. And then there is a 10 stitch blanket. Blanket sounds fun, but oh my gosh, you guys, it would take me, I don't even know how long it would take me to knit a blanket if I cast on a blanket. That has never been a New Start Monday option, is a blanket. Maybe I should do that the first week of January and see if I can get it done throughout the year. I have to keep that in mind for next January. um, oh, Nikki's saying, but the size, that could be not stretched. I don't know. I guess the only way to know is to try it, to knit it and see what you get, right? But probably if you did a worsted weight with the same, follow the same pattern with a worsted weight and larger needles, you'll get a bigger hat. That could be a toddler size hat, right? I could do a baby blanket, Susie. You're right. Yeah, not like a big Jocelyn size blanket that is like bed size. That would take me like 10 years if I ever finished it. Yes, maybe a baby blanket. You're right. Um, Oh, yeah, so Nikki said, "Yeah, I'm sure you could probably figure out how to make it bigger, right? There's always a way." Hi, Wendy. How are you? Happy Monday. Yes, Olson says like patchwork. It does look like that. So I think like with the self-striping yarn, you kind of get that patchwork effect, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I haven't decided what yarn. I have one. I've got, well, I mean, I have like, I don't know. I have hundreds of choices of sock yarn. And I think in my stash over here, I have the odd single ball of Croy, like a 50-gram ball. That would get me two hats. That would be the perfect use for one 50-gram ball of sock yarn. That's really not enough to, well, it's not enough to do a sock, even shorties, because I tried doing shorties and it wasn't quite enough. But doing this baby hat, that sounds like a perfect way to use up some leftover sock yarn, doesn't it? Oh, now I'm really excited for this. Um, yeah, so Alyssa, that's right, because you, yes, babies, And some people don't vote for baby stuff because some people don't usually knit baby stuff. And I have to say, until Scarlett arrived, I was not a baby knitter either. It wasn't something that was ever on my mind to knit and just set aside. So, yeah, I can totally see where babies is not everybody's. If you don't have any babies to knit for, then it's not something you would consider, is it? Oh, Jocelyn, you didn't get a chance to vote. Okay, so Jocelyn, what would you have voted for if you could have voted? I'm curious. I'm thinking Jocelyn would have went balaclava, um, because she likes the winter, and I'm thinking that's the way she would have gone. So let me see if I'm right. Okay, I'm just going back here through the comments. So, okay. Yeah, so I'm super excited about that. I'm really excited because I remember my friend casting on a 10 stitch blanket. Oh my gosh, a lot of years ago. I wonder if she ever finished it. I'll have to message her and just see. Okay, what did I work on this week? A few things. You know the thing that I knit on the most? I'll show it to you. My Christmas scarf. There's the yarn, Mary Maxim, festive sparkle feet. And what is it? Sparkle candy cane? Candy cane sparkle? Yes. Candy cane sparkle is this colorway. And you guys, I love this. Love this. I just love that dark shade of green. I even like the dark red because I'm not a big red person, except at Christmas. And I just love this. I loving how it's knitting up. I was going to just do one pattern repeat. Oh my gosh, I stopped mid-row again. Okay, it's gonna make it tricky to show it to you when I can't spread it all out, but you will get the idea. I put a stitch marker on here last Monday, and this is how much I knit. So I was here at the top of the red. So I was going to do this much. And this is kind of what I thought. I would just go red to red and just do one pattern repeat a week. And then I would just work on this, do one pattern repeat, and over the next however many weeks it took, and then just slowly get it done. But I ended up doing two because it's just so fun. I just this is what all our knitting projects should be like. You like the yarn, you like the pattern, and it's just one of those ones that you just want to pick up. And every time I would pick it up and I'd be like, oh, I should be working on something else. And I'm like, no, I'll just do another color because a color isn't really, I mean, what is it? Like 4 rows or something like that is a color. And I'm just like, I'll just do one color. And then I do another. And then I'm like, oh, I'll just finish the repeat. And all the while I'm thinking, I should be working on my socks. I've got other things that I wanted to work on. Because you guys, I also said something crazy on Instagram. I don't know if it was Friday, if it was Thursday night. I had just finished work for the week and I was working on my pressed flower hat. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is going so fast. And then I actually typed on Instagram and I saying, I may have this done. Could I have this done for Monday? I was like, I actually thought I could have it done. No, no, not even close. You guys are going to laugh when you see this, but mostly because I just kept doing a couple of rounds on this, a couple of rows on this when I probably should have done a couple of rounds on my hat if I really wanted to get a finish. But Liz, it is very sparkly, isn't it? It is. It's just so fun. Looks like ribbon candy. It does. I know there's just everything. I love it. I love it. And I know as I keep going and get wider, my stripes are going to get narrower, but I think it's going to look just fine. Just maybe just a gradual getting thinner as we go. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Oh, so anyway, this just made me super happy just to sit and work on this. And yeah, I like it. So I'll probably do some more on it tonight too. And but I said that this is what I wanted to have on the needles all the time was an asymmetrical garter stitch shawl because it just fits the bill for when you want something mindless. You don't want to have to read a chart, like as in the mosaic pressed flower hat. And you just want something that you can just work away at watching Netflix. Oh my gosh, you guys, I watched Bridgerton. I won't talk about that yet, or maybe at all, but oh my gosh, it was so good. So, and I was watching Bridgerton as I was working on this project. So, do you guys ever have that? You know, you pick up a project and then you immediately like think about what you were listening to when you worked on it last? Either if it's an audiobook or Netflix or whatever you're watching. Okay, my pressed flower hat, the one that I thought I was gonna have done, has got not even half done. Well, it's close. It's almost it's getting close to half done, sort of maybe. But it's got good progress on it. There it is. So I think when I showed it to you last week, had I just started the flower? I think I had a couple of rows done on the flower. Well, I finished one flower, repeat, started on the second. And yeah, at some point I was just so gung ho. I thought, oh, I'm like gonna have no problem. I should be able to whip this up and get it done. Well, I didn't end up having as much knitting time as I thought I was going to have because I ended up spending doing a lot of family things this weekend, which was okay. Okay, I'm gonna try this on. There. So there. Okay, now I've got strings hanging everywhere. Trying not to poke myself with the needles. So there it is. I think it looks good so far. So there we're going. There. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this. The brim is really long on it. And I thought about doing it smaller, less rows than it said. But I was like, "No." So I don't know. We'll see, but I, like, don't have that much farther to go. So we'll see how it ends up. Okay. Try to get this off. But it is a fun knit, and it's easy to do, even though I will say at one point, I was knitting as I was watching Bridgerton, and I think I was just so captivated watching Bridgerton that I started knitting the wrong round. So then, I had to unknit 1 or 2 or 3 rounds. Yeah, it was like I had I thought I was doing so well until I looked at it and I'm like, "Darn, I made a mistake." So I had to sit and unknit, unknit, unknit. So then, yeah, that was unfortunate because that took a big chunk of time to knit those rows and then unknit them and reknit them back up. And it was like, oh, I could have been so much further ahead if I hadn't made that mistake. But I found it, and so at least I saw it without getting too far and then having to go back. So, anyways, it's all fine. But I didn't have time. We ended up having a family picnic on Sundays, which kind of took the whole day because the morning I was making food, the afternoon was the picnic, then I had to take Eric home, and then Jocelyn and I podcast in the evenings. So that meant I got no knitting done until later in the night, and I think I just did one round just to say I did a round on it. So that kind of and then I saw Anita and Scarlett on Saturday. So yeah, what can you do? I had plans. I thought, oh, I was gonna get a whole lot done. Yeah. What do they say about the best laid plans? So, anyways, the exciting part is that this is still on the needles. I still get to work on it this week, and you guys are gonna get to see it again next week. So hold tight. We'll see if I can maybe get this hat done this week, or maybe just get it the second flower repeat done. I don't know. Maybe I need to make my expectations just a little bit smaller. Carol, thank you. Carol said it looks pretty. Alyssa, is it going to be double brimmed? Well, I'm wondering. I could maybe roll it up. In the pictures in the pattern, it doesn't show her rolling it. It shows just a wide, deep ribbing, but there's no reason I couldn't roll it up if I wanted to. Nikki also knit it, and hers looked beautiful. Nikki says, I think I'm going to bring my pressed flower hat with me tomorrow. We have another medical trip for Marvel. And if I do, I'll take a picture and post it in the Fiber Friends group. Yes, that would be wonderful. That would be, it's cool here. Today has been really cool. I just, before I came up here to chat with you guys, I spent some time outside bringing all of my tropical plants back in the house tonight because it's going to get cool. Last night was cool, but tonight's going to get a couple degrees cooler, so I brought them all back in. Oh, hi, Bonnie. Thank you. All of a sudden, you really like the pressed flowers hat. Have you made it, or do you think you would try it? Yeah. Oh, Sally, it's beautiful in those colors. I know, isn't it? I always think bright colors like this would be perfect for the winter time when it's just so dull and gray and cold. You just need a little pop of color just to kind of think about spring when it's the dead of winter. Anyways, that's it. So this ball is probably not going to do my hat, but I have another skein here, and I've got this. So what this is magenta, and this is apple green, I think. So this, obviously, I haven't used hardly any of this. The pink, the ribbing really used up the pink. So I got lots of yarn, so I'm just gonna keep working away on the pressed flower hat. But if you haven't done mosaic knitting before, this might be a good one to try, right? If you want a hat project, you want to try mosaic, it's charted, it's really, really easy, and it's repetitive. So you don't even I just have one section of the chart pulled up on my screen, and I just follow that and repeat it till the end. So it is pretty easy if you want to try something for the first time. What else? So the shawl and the mosaic hat, those were the two projects that I worked on the most this week. Now, I'm going to show you something that Jocelyn and I were talking about last night. Jocelyn, you're going to be so surprised. I worked on this is my challenge project, so I can talk about it today because we just talked about it last night. So I'll show it to you now. And then I'll show it to you again in a month when Jocelyn and I chat the first Friday of July. Holy moly. Summer will be full swing by then. So this yarn, this is a project that I started. Cheryl thinks we started them maybe like October, November last year. We did an order. A few of us went together and we did a big order from Knit Picks, and we ordered some DK sock yarn. I think that was the book. I think that was maybe the reason why we did the Knit Picks order. And I know I got two different colorways. There's this one that I can't remember the name of, but it's this nice, bright, fun royal blue. It kind of has like a stripy effect going on there. A little bit of pooling here in the cuff, but oh well, looks fun. And so I've got my leg knit. I was only about half an inch away from the length I wanted the leg when I picked this up yesterday. So this morning before I went to work, I did a few rounds on here. So I'm ready to do a heel. And I'm thinking that I might, oh no, can I? I was thinking of doing the Flegel heel, but now having said that, I'm like, can you do the Flegel heel both ways, or is it just toe up? I don't know. If I can do it, I will. Or maybe I'll do a garter stitch short row heel. That might be an option. That might be a good one for this sock. So I'm working on this because Jocelyn, I'm not leaving this to the end. I am really going to try to have a finish when we chat again next month. So this has already been in the rotation, and I got a few rounds done on it, and it's great. I counted my stitches because I couldn't remember how many stitches I had cast on. There's 48 stitches on here, and needle size, I'm not sure, but I'm guessing a 3.25 is probably what I'm using. Oh, hawthorn. Yes. Yes, Louise. Somebody said that the other night. I think somebody did a quick Google search and said hawthorn. I think that's right. That sounds familiar. Yeah, so there it is. So I'm excited. I'm liking it. I'm thinking this is gonna go super fast with DK. DK sock yarn. Maybe the ticket to my sock knitting here, you guys. So, okay, since we're on socks, I'm gonna show you the other pair that I did just a couple of rows on. My my gradient ones that I started a couple of weeks ago. Oh, Alyssa, yes, you feel lucky to have the knit picks in the US. Yes, you are right. Okay, I have all these little mini balls here. So these are the colors that came from Coats& and Co. when we were at Knit City, Toronto. So I have got I don't know the colors. There's a light green, there's a sage green, and then there's more like a tealy colored green. And I'm going to do the heel in orange. So these are going to be just a little shorty pair of socks for the summer. And this is how much I have got done. I have a cuff and I have a few, I did a few extra rows here for the leg and I am doing an afterthought heel. So I was kind of going through, oh, I don't have the book up here with me, the sock project book, Summer Lee's new sock book. And oh, what does she have? She has 5 heels in there, and she has an afterthought heel and a forethought heel, which I'm thinking they're basically the same thing. It's just afterthought is where you do not put in your waste yarns. So you can't see that there? Maybe right there. You can see I did put in orange. I am going to do the heel with the orange, but I'm just using it for my contrast color right now because I'm just going to carry on doing shades of green for the sock, and then I'm going to come back and do an orange heel and toe. So I did this. So I still call this an afterthought heel, but putting waist yarn in it. But in her book, she calls it the forethought heel. So the afterthought heel is where you just knit your cuff, your leg, and your toe, and then you come back and you snip where you want your heel and pick it out and pick up stitches and then do your afterthought heel. And I was like, yeah, I don't feel like doing that. I have done that before. And I'm like, no, I'm just going to knit my waist yarn in. So I guess technically I'm doing a forethought heel. So I'm actually going to take a look and read through both pages about both heels to see if they're actually knit any different. But I'm thinking not. I'm thinking it's just the waist yarn is really the difference. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you've read the book or if you've done some of her patterns, let me know. Yes. So, yes, mine is the forethought. Forethought, afterthought. That's a good way of saying it. Yes. Because you're thinking ahead and you're putting in the waist yarn. Yeah. Where afterthought is just, you just knit and go back and cut. So anyways, but I think the heel part is done the same. I mean, I've done it both ways. I've done it where I've just gone back and cut, picked up stitches and worked it the same way, or put the waist yarn in and then you just pull it out and pick up your stitches. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. I am going to do 3 rounds, like a mini gusset in there just to have a little extra room. But that is the heel on this sock. So I have my other Patton's Croy sock, the Midnight Orchid, that has the Fish Lips Kiss heel in it. This is going to have the forethought, afterthought. Okay, that is kind of fun to say. I like that. The oh no. Okay, now I messed it up. Forethought, afterthought heel is what is going to be in this little mini sock. And then this one will have, again, something different. Fleagle heel, or now I'm thinking maybe the short row garter stitch heel. Something about that, um, the short row garter stitch, because it's garter stitch, it's just like soft and cushy, go should match well with like a DK sock, just that whole feeling of warmth and coziness. So maybe I'll just stick with that and do that garter stitch heel in the DK sock, and I'll save the Fleagle. Somehow I feel like the Fleagle I'm like saving for like the perfect pair of socks. I don't know. I'm excited to do it. So maybe I'll just hold off and do it maybe in the next pair or a pair after. I don't know. Okay, Louise is saying, um, she says, I think they're both short row heels, but one is where you know exactly where you're going to place the heel, and the afterthought is you can make your decision later. I think you're right too. I think if we're both thinking that, I think we're right. Oh my gosh. So yeah, so that's going to be fun. So now, honestly, you guys, this sock has this sock has sat here. It looks like it's a bit of a mess, but I'm going to cut this orange out. So I will just have these two colors. Nope. Okay. Okay. This isn't as bad as it looks. Honest. It's not as bad as it looks. But this sock has sat here, and the real reason I hadn't really done anything else on this was because I was just waiting to put that waist yarn in there. If I had put the waist yarn in there before the weekend, I would have just zipped around on here. But it's one of those things that always kind of stop me, where you have to stop the thought process when it's not just round and round and round knitting. You got to do something, if that's picking up gusset stitches, putting in waist yarn. It's that I always kind of get stuck there. If I don't do it, then my project will sit, because then when I want to just pick up something while I'm watching Bridgerton, that's when I pick up my garter stitch shawl instead of doing that one little piece of thinking that will take all of 2 minutes. And it's like, I mean, it's not a big deal, but for some reason it stops me sometimes. So now I've got this waist yarn in here. So now I'm like off to the races. I can just pick this up and I can just go round and round and round and do the foot down to the toe and then come back and do the heel. So I'm excited for this. Oh, Sally, you really like the shadow wrap heel. It's easy and there are no holes compared to other types of heels. Yes, that one's got to be on my list too, because I know people have talked about that. And so I definitely want to give that one a try as well. Bridgerton TikToks are crazy. Oh my gosh, Alyssa. Now maybe I'm gonna have to go. I've stayed off TikTok for the last like quite a while. I haven't gone on there. So now I'm gonna have maybe I'll have to do that. Just search Tech Bridgerton and see what comes up. Liz, you are currently decreasing your gusset stitches on sock number 2. That's exciting. You're close to a finish. Hey Sam, how are you? Um, so I think that's all that I had. My Cheryl bag, my divided bag that has has a little bit of everything in there. There's also a sweater project, a start of a sweater project in there that maybe I'll get to. Oh, all right. So those socks are now set up to have a good chunk of progress done on them this week. I did I bring up anything else? Maybe that was all I worked on this week. So no, it's not. There's one more thing here. Where did it go? Here it is. Okay. Last week's project. Last week's project. Oh darn, I didn't bring the pattern up here. Saba. I think I'm just gonna call it the Saba top. Um, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but I'm knitting it with this hemp wool. Um, this was the yarn you guys voted for last week, and I'm really excited to knit this and to be able to turn this into a summer top. So I should say, just as a public service announcement, that if you are looking for this yarn, so it's called hemp wool, and I don't think I have a ball band here with me, but it's from Hemp for Knitting, and it's a wool and hemp blend. but the wool is a very rusticy kind of wool, so it's maybe not the choice for everybody for a summer top, but I have knit 1 or 2 sweaters out of this, and I love them. Um, like winter sweaters, so I would have had, like, a t-shirt or something on underneath it, and I don't find it too picky. But it does have a pick to it, so just this is probably not the best choice for a summer top, but I think I'm gonna love it. And I'm really excited about the color because it's not typically my color, but I'm trying to broaden my horizons. So I have a little start. It is started. It's on the needles. I went with a 4 millimeter needle. I did do a gauge swatch and then I pulled it all out and I cast on. So I have cast on. If you remember from last week, the pattern is a paid for pattern, but it gives you two options. Okay, I have a yarn management issue tonight. I'm gonna just, I mean, there's nothing much to show you. It's cast on. I'm ready to start doing some shoulder increases. So it increases out like you're doing a raglan. Um, and that's gonna be it. So this should be an easy project. It starts out in the round, you do some shoulder increases, then you do the front and back are knit flat. So I'm gonna have to watch my tension there because I swatched in the round because most of the sweater, once you get the front part done, then you're joining it in the round again, and then you're going knitting in the round. So I did my gauge swatch in the round. So once I switch to flat knitting, I'm gonna check my gauge and possibly switch my needle size if I need to. So I can keep it all the same tension. I'm I was gonna say fudging the pattern, but not really fudging the pattern, but I'm going to definitely try this on. Once I get enough to try on, just to check the neckline opening, because my yarn that I'm using is a little heavier maybe than what the pattern calls for. The pattern called for, I believe it was a DK Sport, DK, I'm thinking. Um, Anyway, this here is technically listed as a worsted weight, but it is a light worsted weight. And I know from knitting other projects with it that it is a light worsted weight. So light worsted, DK, I was hoping that would just all work out to be the same gauge. This is maybe a little thicker than what the yarn that the samples were knit from. So what I ended up doing, I went with a 4 millimeter needle. I liked the fabric I was getting on it. I've got my gauge, and so I went down a needle size or a pattern size. So I am just knowing I may have to play around a little bit. So once and if I have to pull it out and start again, I'm fine with that. So I'm just gonna start, I'm gonna knit, and then I'm gonna try it on as I go and just kind of tweak the pattern, do as many increases as I need, see if, that may match with the pattern, it may not. So we'll see. I'm just going to knit and try on, knit, try on, knit and try on. And it's going to work out perfectly. I know it's going to. It'll be just great. It'll be fine. So I'm excited. This is on the needles. It's ready to go. So now this is something that I can work on this week as well. Because really, this baby hat that I'm doing should be done in a night or two. And then I should have the rest of the week free to work on all these other fun projects from the last few weeks. That is my plan. I'm hoping for a really productive knitting week and hoping that I will be able to get a good amount of progress done. And you guys, I'm really hoping to have this baby hat done. I don't know what would happen. I shouldn't even jinx myself. I was gonna say, I don't even know what would have to happen for me not to have it done. Shouldn't even ask that. There's probably I can think of a whole kind of list of things that could cause some trouble, but I don't know. Now I just all of a sudden had this thought. What if I don't actually like the technique that it uses? That could be a reason why I don't knit it, but I can't see that being a problem. I don't think. I think it'll be fine. And it's just a little tiny baby hat. So I'm sure I can persevere with 10 stitches and get a baby hat done and have a finish to show you guys next week. That is my goal. That's my goal. I'm going to see. I'm going to try to stick to that. We'll see how I make out. What else? So the Fiber Friends challenge for this month, for June, is a get her done. So working on some progress or projects that you've got on the needles, this is the month to get some finishes or get some good progress done if you've got larger projects. I have oh, that's it. Alyssa, you're right. Babysitting Scarlett every night. That's exactly what would stop me because she's walking now, you guys. So like there's yeah, knitting with a toddler? No. I mean, when they're babies, you can get some knitting done in there, right? You can. Um, but not now that she's walking. So you're right, Alyssa, you're exactly right. That is what could stop me. If I don't, yes, if I don't like it, don't, yes, if I don't like it, don't make it. That's true. And then I'll just go right back to my Christmas scarf and or shawl, one skein shawl, and work on that. I know, but I'm hoping. I'm excited. I'm excited to try it. So of course, the big issue for me is always finding an empty needle right now. Um, 2.75. Oh, you know what? Actually, I think I have a bunch of 2.75. And maybe I'll try that because it's a baby hat. So I'm thinking like gauge isn't going to really play in a big deal, right? If it's a little big or a little small, it's going to be fine because babies' hats come in all sizes. It'll fit a baby somewhere. I think I have a bunch of 2.75, like 40-inch needles that I could magic loop. Oh, I don't even need to magic loop, do I? Because it's only 10 stitches. Okay. I could knit it on straight. Could I knit it on straights, I wonder? Oh, you're picking I don't know. Anyways, I think I'm fine. I think I'm fine. Now that I just talked that out with you guys, I'm pretty sure I know where I have got 2.75 needles. I just need to go get them and I should be set to cast on. I got to figure out what yarn I'm going to use, you guys. I talked about I've got those couple of balls, but where are they? I keep on thinking Patton's Croy is what I'm thinking of using. I'll have to see. I have got like I'm just looking around here and I'm like, I could use that ball. I could use that. Um that look I'm seeing a part ball left over from fingering weight sweater that I did. I mean, yeah, I mean I could have potentially have a lot of hats knit. And I could have more than one done. Okay, now I'm getting really crazy here talking about more than one. Um Exactly, Liz says, "Don't worry about the gauge, the hat yeah, it'll fit somebody." That's right. If it's a little big, little small, it'll be fine. So, yeah, it'll work out good. I'm kind of really excited about the idea of using up part balls. If it only takes 20 or 30 grams, that could be a good sock weight yarn stash busting project, and a good project, right? Like something that you could give to charity. You could take it to your local hospital, um, lots of places to donate baby hats and use up those part balls of sock yarn. If you're not going to do like a scrappy blanket with it or something, right? If you don't have a plan for it, maybe a couple of baby hats might be a good idea. Does anybody want to knit? Does anybody want to knit this with me? Like we could do that. We could do our own little knit along for this week and knit up a couple of these baby hats. That would be fun if anybody wants to join with me. We all have leftover sock yarn, right? And it's a free pattern. Really nothing stopping. We could all knit one. That would be fun. Then you have to, if you knit one, tag me on Instagram so then I can share your hat on my stories and we can share because the color combinations. I'm not sure who said, Kim. Was it Kim that said that she'd liked or voted for the baby stitch hat because she liked the colors, right? So self-striping variegated sock yarn, we would get some really fun, colorful hats. Okay, I'm gonna challenge you guys. Anybody want to try knit a baby hat with me this week? I think that would be fun. So tag me on Instagram because I would love to see. Yes, it was you, Kim. Kim, do you want to knit one with me? Oh, Liz, you do sock head hats. That's a good well, do you wanna do one of those too? You can knit along with us, even if it's not the pattern. Oh, Sam did amazing with her mosaic dishcloth pattern that she designed. That was so fun. Sam, I can't wait to see it in person. Hi, Miranda. Happy Monday. Miranda, you wanna knit a 10-stitch baby hat with me this week? Oh, it's the sock head hat pattern. It's a free pattern as well? Yes, I know a lot of people have knit that, and it's a great hat pattern with sock yarn. Oh, listen, you're going to do it? Okay. All right, you're in. Oh, oh, Alyssa, you need to finish your worsted weight baby hat. Well, knit it and tag me. Maybe it can just be a baby hat week. If you're knitting a little hat, a hat, any hat, I don't know. I just want people to knit with me because I think it'll be fun. So if you're knitting a hat, a baby hat, tag me and I will share it on my Instagram stories so we can just inspire everybody with all the fun colors and the yarn we're using. Okay, that'll be so fun. All right, well, you guys can think about that. And anybody who's watching the replay over the next few days, feel free to join in. Send me a message on Instagram so I can look for your works in progress. Maybe I'll do a little poll on my Instagram stories for tomorrow. See if anybody wants to join in, and I can put a link to the pattern in there. That would be fun. Oh my gosh, the sock head pattern. That sock head what? Wait, the sock head hat pattern. That's making me think that maybe that should be a new Start Monday project at some point, because I don't think I have ever knit it. I've seen lots of other people do it, but I have not done it. Now I just feel like I just want to do all the things, but I'm going to focus on what I have here. I really want to get a good start on last week's project. I mean, it's on the needles, so the gauging part's done. I found my needle. Those are always my two kind of big things that I like to get done. And then once it's on the needles, then I'm good to go. So I want to get a bunch of rounds done on that. I don't know, a bunch of progress done on that, and see see what I have to show you next Monday. Oh, sure, Sam. Just ask your question. Liz, the socket hat is easy peasy. Easy peasy is great. I think I switch back and forth. Sometimes I want something like the pressed flower hat. Sometimes I like to be able to sit down and just do something that you have to pay a little bit of attention to, and then you see the pattern emerging, and then you're just like, "Oh my gosh, I just did that, and it looks amazing." And then there's other times you just want something that is a no thinking, easy peasy project, right? Miranda, of course you can crochet. Sure. Of course, crochet a baby hat, and yeah, and tag me on Instagram. That would be great. Maybe yes, there'll be other crocheters out there who may want to crochet the same pattern. That would be so fun. Sam, what's your question? Is it about your dishcloth? Okay, we just have a couple minutes here. So, what else is everybody working on tonight? We'll chat the last few minutes about your projects, and then we will wrap up and get started on these baby hats. Oh my gosh. Okay, so who else is excited for the second half of Bridgerton? You all know I held off until I must have started this weekend. I don't know if it was Friday or Saturday. Yes, I waited a little bit because I knew that with only 4 episodes in the new season 3, that it would be so hard to wait for the next 4. So I actually went back and rewatched all of season 2, and then I watched the 4 episodes. And the way the 4th episode ended, I was like, "What?" I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I cannot wait for the final 4." I might actually go back the next couple of nights and watch the first 4 episodes again just because they were so fantastic. I love them. Kim, you're working on a sweater. Oh no, you frogged it 3 times. Why? What is it the sizing, or is it just the pattern, or you just keep being too intently watching Bridgerton and just messing it up? That's what I'm blaming my press flower hat on. Hey, Tammy. Oh, you're taking an I-cord binding off. Oh my goodness. Okay, does that must be still faster than putting it on though, right? That still sounds like a little bit of a job. Off a Stephen West blanket to add corners to it. Okay, so you didn't so how do you add corners to a blanket? So does that mean like you mean like you're actually gonna knit a whole border with like a mitered square corner as opposed to just the I-cord? So do you just want it bigger? Anyways, I'm curious. Now I need to know. Oh, Alyssa, your watch. Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2003. I'm like, yeah, that's going back a little ways. Oh, Miranda, good. So you're waiting. I know. You've binged watched it a few times already. I know. I just loved everything about it. I loved like the dresses, the jewelry. Like it's just I just yeah, I just love it. I love it a lot. Oh, Kim, I really don't like the way the pattern was written, but I love the sweater. Oh, so it's just okay. I get that. Well, hopefully 3 times is the charm, and from here on out, it's just easy knitting and it'll be fine. Miranda, you're crocheting a dress for summer. Oh my gosh. That'll be so cute. You will have to post some pictures of that. Oh, okay. Suzanne is saying, yes, you do mind corners. Okay. Tammy, a circle blanket. So going back and forth a quarter at a time to build it out. Okay. Now that sounds interesting. Hey, Deborah, you're making oh, baby washcloths and ripped a half done one out twice. Short 2 stitches and short 1 stitch, finishing it up now. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, good. I'm glad it sounds like you're back on track. That's good. So you're in a baby knitting mode, Deborah. Do you want to do a baby, a 10 stitch baby hat with us? Oh, so damn it, you're just winging it. Well, sometimes that's the best way to do it. And you can just make it exactly how you want it to be. That's good. Keep us updated. Let us know how it's going. Oh, okay, so Alyssa, you were too young when it came out originally. Okay, well, that's good. Sometimes you like going back and watching some of those good old shows is a fun thing to do. Louise, the finished dishcloth that I did for you, oh, is loose at the bottom but tight at the top. Why? Probably your cast off was tighter than your cast on, would be my guess. Oh, and Deborah said the exact same thing. Bind off is tighter. Yeah, lots of times, sometimes if you, it's easy to get your bind off too tight. Sometimes you can do it just, yeah, you just have to really make an effort every stitch just to keep it loose. You can use a bigger needle size, or you can just do a different cast off. But I think for your dish cloths, you'd be fine to just try and do it super loose, Sam. So you could pull it out and then just cast off again, just making sure your stitches are looser. And you should be, hopefully, fingers crossed, be all right. All right, everybody, we are at the 1 hour mark here. So this has been such a fun night chatting with you all. I hope you've had a great start to your week and have a fun knitting week. So, oh, hey, Brian, how are you? Happy Monday. You're crocheting a cardigan. That is so fun. I love crocheting. Yeah, people are loving doing all the crocheting things right now, which is so fun. Sally, oh, you're casting on a new pair of socks for next month's challenge. You're going to be looking for more socks to cast on also. See, I know. I just want to knit all the socks. But then I think that, and then I'm like, okay, I'll knit all the socks plus a couple sweaters and a couple of hats and a shawl. So I know it's hard. There's just so many things. We want to do them all. Nancy, oh, you finished the woolly waffle. Is that triangle? Oh, triangle. Worked on socks and another shawl. Excellent projects. Good. All right, everybody. Well, thanks again for voting for this 10 stitch baby hat. I am super excited. I'm going to go try and track down those needles and do a little looking. I think I'm going to put Bridgerton on again, and I'm going to do a little looking through my sock yarn, see what I can come up with, and get started on this project. So I look forward to anybody who wants to join in with me seeing your projects. And we will come back here next Monday and we'll talk more about finished baby hats and what we thought about the process of knitting them. Yeah, we can chat all about that next week. So, everybody, have a fantastic week, and I will see you all back here next Monday. Happy knitting, everybody.